Alright, what is good everybody? Chapter 2 of the Darth Vader 2020 comic just dropped, and man was this a very good and fun read. So let's get right into the chapter, and we start off this chapter with the flashback to Attack of the Clones, where Padme confesses her love to Anakin right before she thinks she's gonna die. And now this is a nice little flashback to show that Anakin Skywalker hasn't been completely consumed by Darth Vader yet. We go back to the present, and this mysterious Padme lookalike questioned what Vader just called her, and as Vader droid starts to compare her to Padme, the woman shoots at Darth Vader, to which Vader stops the shot and force throws the gun out of her hand. Instead of typical Vader anger, he is still in disbelief at this woman and just asks who she is instead of killing her for attacking him. The woman then responds to his question by telling him that she is Padme Amidala. Then we start to get a flashback of Padme throughout the years, from being the Queen of Naboo, to a senator, to the daughter of Naboo, then to tell Vader that she is back from the grave to haunt him. Vader quickly snaps out of the flashback and begins to force choke this woman claiming to be Padme, just like he did to actual Padme on Mustafar. Then we get a flashback of that as well. Vader is obviously full of anger, sorrow, and many other emotions as he lets her go from his chokehold. She starts to escape, and Lord Vader is then attacked by a Vendexan land squid, which he quickly massacres, and we got to see him do that in the last chapter as well. Then Vader and his droid go and find the woman who escapes out of his grasp to find out who she truly is. Vader confronts her and asks her who she is once again and tells her to not be afraid. She replies to him saying she is not afraid, and then we get another flashback to Attack of the Clones where Padme says the same thing to Anakin. We go back to the present and she tells Vader she is not afraid, but she is angry. Vader stares into her eyes and figures out that she is not Padme, but she is the Queen's shadow, and we get a flashback to the Phantom Menace where we see the handmaiden from Naboo at a much younger age along with Padme, Anakin, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and good old R2-D2. Afterwards, Vader's droid identifies her as Sabe, who acted as the Queen's double on Naboo. Vader then tells Sabe that she broke into Padme's quarters to find out what happened to Padme and how she died, and asks her exactly what she found. She tells Vader that she thinks Palpatine killed Padme, which is actually partially true. The droid starts to prosecute her, to which Vader tells both of them to silence. Vader then implies if Padme were alive, she would have stood by the Empire, and Sabe disagrees and even goes to ask him if he even knew who Padme was. Vader then swears to find out whoever hid Padme from him and to destroy them, and Sabe questions Vader once again. Sabe begins to give in to Vader, and Darth Vader starts convincing her to join him in finding whoever hid Padme so she can seek revenge. Sabe does not reply, but shoots what seems to be at Vader, but ends up being a Vendexan land squid, and she begins to explain that her and her team have been fighting off these squids for weeks, and that she released them to attack Vader earlier. Now, my favorite part of this chapter is something we're about to see, where we get to see Vader and Sabe fight off these land squids together, while seeing flashbacks of Anakin and Padme fighting in the Attack of the Clones. And man, it just hits you right in the feels and is really awesome to see. After defeating the squids and the flashbacks, Vader tells her that she did well and to come along with him. You can see the soft spot that he has for Padme is still present with Sabe. As Vader tells her they will leave at once, you see Sabe looking down at her deceased team, which Vader killed in the previous chapter. Sabe says she will not leave until her team gets a proper burial, and she tells the droid to help her. The droid tells her no, but of course Vader gives in to the closest thing to Padme that he has still, and we see the droid finishing up the burial. Sabe then tells Vader that these soldiers walked with her at Padme's funeral. Then she basically orders Vader to continue on so he can serve his master Palpatine and she can have her vengeance. They go to Vader's ship and they take it, and she begins to tell him that she broke into Padme's quarter and stole the security recordings for a clue on Padme's death, but she couldn't decrypt them, and then that her and her team hid the recordings on Naboo. we once again get a flashback to Anakin and Padme on Naboo when they got married, and Padme telling Anakin not to be afraid. And then we get Vader remembering the words, "I'm not afraid, and I'm angry," and then the chapter ends. And whoo, man, I'm not gonna lie, this chapter just had me in the feels. The way they did the flashbacks with the present and kept going back and forth and really comparing Sabe to Padme and looking at Vader's whole demeanor and the way he treats her so differently. It was really awesome, and for a second there I just remembered Padme and kind of just thought what it would be like if she was still alive and her and Vader were together, and it was really awesome. Now, the next chapter is called Going to Naboo or Returning to Naboo, something like that. And I'm really excited because this chapter was great. And recently, just all the comics I've been reading have been really on point. And the Darth Vader one is by far my favorite. So next month, we will read chapter 3 and it will be a great time. So thanks for watching. And as always, may the Force be with you. And I'll see you guys next time.